Good day, everybody. It's the 11th of May, 2023, and it's 3 days or 2 days after the Victory Day celebrations. I'm in Minsk right now, going to Baranovichi to go see my mother-in-law and cat. Can't forget my cat. So, yeah, the fallout from the Victory Day, that was pretty interesting, as everybody can guess. So now they call it in Europe, they call it what, Europe Day or something like that. And then you heard about the, let me get outside here. At the train station, on Leninplatz, or Lenin Square, Plosha Lenina. And of course, again behind me, I've been here before. That's the gates of Minsk back there, if you can see them. My screen is very small. That's why my Victory Day parade photography was a little bit off, to say the least. So, but anyway, what I was saying, the ambassador to Russia was in Warsaw, and they wouldn't let him lay a wreath at the Soviet memorial there. And they tried to make him take off his St. George ribbon, and he refused to do that, but they blocked it, and so he couldn't put the wreath there. And you know, I think Alex Cristoforo mentioned it too. He beat me to it. I was gonna make a video yesterday, but I get too busy doing crap, so I couldn't do that. And they're doing construction over there, so I can't really go there either. So anyway, but they arrested 26 people in Latvia, you know, for daring to celebrate Victory Day. You know, that's not allowed. Any recognition, positive recognition of Russia is normally not allowed in a lot of Baltic states and Poland, or, you know, becoming more and more so in the collective West, of course, not in Ukraine either. You cannot have any sympathy towards Russia or even Belarus for the most part. It's going that way. And yeah, it's going to be going like that probably in the United States too. It's as I was saying, it's the Russians are the new Jews. So, oh, I can't even go down the steps here. Look at this, it's blocked off. I guess they just painted this. Well, they have one set of steps I can walk down over here. But after the long winter, you know, they got a lot of stuff to do. They have a lot more harsher winters here in Belarus than they do in a lot of other places. So, you know, paint wears off of things. We've got so much work to do, always. Oh, by the way, I met an American, a guy from California. He's a medical student here, just, I don't know, 20 minutes ago in the subway, which is very odd. You rarely ever hear any English here. So it's actually probably pretty good if you want to be some kind of an English teacher, to be teaching here. Oh, I shouldn't say that, because somebody's going to come over here and take away whatever prospects I might have to do such a thing. Just kidding. Just kidding. So let me talk a little bit more about news here. Let's see, what did I say here? Oh yeah, this, I think Alex Cristoforo read the same news I did. There was a handicapped guy in a wheelchair, and they said they took a jacket off him. I saw a photo. It was the photo, he was wearing a t-shirt that said Russia on it. So I don't know, they fined him, took him in or whatever, or maybe they let him wear his t-shirt. Maybe he also had a jacket that said Russia, and that's not allowed, of course, so they let him wear his t-shirt. Handicapped, he looked like he had MS or something, you know. Harassing people like that, terrible. You know, a lot more things. 26 people. You have to admit, this is just getting out of hand, you know. Some real crazy stuff here. You know, anti-Russianism. They call it Russophobia, but it's not Russophobia. It's not a fear of Russia. It's a hatred of Russia. So they should just have a new name for that. Yeah. And last year I was in Latvia, and they had like, what did they have? Exhibition things. They had them out on the streets where they had, you know, and it was saying how terrible Putin is, and then they had like women's underwear with red paint splattered on it as if the Russians are going through and raping and murdering all the Ukrainians and things like that. A bunch of ridiculous stuff that, of course, is nothing but propaganda. Really terrible what these countries are stooping to. Great Britain. And in case I forget, which I probably will, as you know now, Great Britain is sending long-range missiles to Ukraine. You know, right along with their radioactive ammunition for tanks and whatnot, the depleted uranium. You know, back in my day in the military, we used to call those mini nukes of, you know, things like that, the bombs, not necessarily the projectiles shot from tanks or artillery. Well, artillery, sure, yeah. Mini nukes, because they had a big bang to it, and of course now they use what is it? We call it wolfram tungsten. You know, projectiles with tungsten, I guess, also carry a big bang, so you can have big bang munitions without using depleted uranium. But of course they want to poison you know, Ukraine. Great Britain does. You know, they don't give a rat's backside about Ukraine or the Ukrainian people or anything. None of these people do. I'll tell you what, even the regime of Ukraine does not even give a rat's backside for the people of Ukraine. When their time is done, they're going to go with their billions of dollars and live in some tropical place somewhere. They thought that maybe they could just retire to the Crimea. I don't think they'd ever want to use that munitions on the Crimea because they want to take it over. But maybe when they realize they're not going to get it, they're probably going to try to destroy the Crimea too. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's in their head. And I was mentioning, and I didn't find a story so much about it. I did see one, and I didn't read it, and I didn't save it or nothing. But it's about these this religious cult murders. I'll just mention that in between here, just very short. They got the body count in Kenya from these people that are dying from starvation. I think the body count was 112, and a lot of the organs are missing from a lot of these bodies. So they were also harvesting organs from that. Just like, you know, as you hear that they're doing that in Ukraine, I mentioned that, and you can't forget that either. Looks like it's a big business in the world. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, what's going on? Taking people's organs, maybe killing you to get your organs. It used to be in, you know, organ donor in Washington State, you know. List yourself as an organ donor in case, you know, if something happens to you and you're deceased or something in a car accident, you can donate your organs. And I think I went down as one of them. Maybe I shouldn't now. Boy. They do that in Israel, as you know, with Palestinians, and you're not allowed to dig up, or a lot of time even be present at the funerals of Palestinians. And they used to take the skin off of the back of people, and, you know, depending on what they match the skin tone of some people that might, you know, the Europeanish types that settled in Israel, and maybe somebody like me, you know, with a whiter skin, and you can't handle the sun, so whenever they find lighter skinned Palestinians, you know, that they either, I don't know, they take the skin off, they graft the skin off their backs, and then they bury them so you can't even tell when they're sitting in a coffin that they remove skin for people that had skin cancer problems. But that's just another story. Jean-Pierre also, that was just like, this is a little bit older. He was a couple days old if you want to listen to it. You know, I have some new stuff too. But Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, talking about that it's the 9th of May was the anniversary of the U.S. defeating Nazi Germany. And of course, everybody knows that it was at least 75% of the defeat is due to the credit of Russia. And the USA had a little bit to do with it, of course. They came in late, I think, in the war, did they? On that part of the war? Yeah, well, anyway. It's a messed up story, and you talking about World War II, wet alliances and all that sort of deal. One at the beginning, Stalin had sympathy for Adolf, and of course so did the Polish government. So alliances switched a little bit too, you know. Think about like the 30 Years' War when they were switching all the time. But yes. And a lot of these countries, they see the 9th of May as a sort of a love-hate day. Can you imagine how confused they are in the Baltics when you're supposed to celebrate by political correctness the defeat of the Nazis, but yet they were on the side of the Nazis. So it's today, they're really not into it, especially not like some places like Belarus and Russia that put 90 or 100% into it. And in Latvia, they were on the other side, of course. Latvia, the Baltics, half of Ukraine, well, not half of Ukraine, I'd say 1/3 of Ukraine was on the side of Adolphus and his nasties, but Kiev itself, they were on the side of the Soviet Union. So, but anyway, you say it was the Red Army. It's the Red Army, not Russia or Belarus's necessarily victory. And when the Nazis, the nasties, when they surrendered to the Red Army. They did not surrender to the United States or to France or to Great Britain. They surrendered to the Red Army. So guess who won World War II, people? That tells you right there. Much more than anybody else. And the cost of lives, like I said, I think it was, I don't know, let's not get into that. I talk about that. Around 20 million civilians and 8.7 soldiers died from the Soviet Union in World War II. And what the USA lost and the other countries is just a drop in the bucket compared to that. And entire towns massacred. Like I said, I'm going to be going to one of those in Belarus, one of the more famous ones where they massacred everybody in the town except for one person who was gone that day. I've mentioned that already, so we'll get around to that. And so 1 week after Berlin was defeated by the Soviet Red Army is when that faction of Germany surrendered to the Red Army. So guess who won, like I said? Yeah. I wrote down other parts of history here. I'll skip all that. I'm gonna catch my train. But the more you look into the true history, in particular of World War II, the more shocked you become. You're fed a terrible propagandist line of all history, really. And all facts are altered. Especially the United States, they love to alter the facts. Now you have cancel culture. Everything's getting canceled and altered and completely changed to the opposite of what it really is. It's really astounding. Yeah. A lot of people walking by here. But the war is normally against this ideology, not against any kind of people, really. It's not against, when we say like Ukraine or Germany, it's against this ideology. And now, of course, as you see, it's growing in leaps and bounds today. They act as if they're against the nasties, but yet they still support that same ideology. They may as well just look at a mirror, a lot of elements in the USA, Great Britain. Look at what that ideology has become today. They just don't call it that. And the Azovs, they admit that they're at least honest enough to admit that they follow Adolf. And of course they're told to keep it quiet now, as you know. Oh yeah, we're something different now. But they still do, and they. And Adolf, of course, was the founding father of that ideology, and not necessarily Mussolini, even though he was the one that created fascism and gave it that name, but fascism has been altered, and I guess now we consider it something different than what it originally was. So try to remember that. I don't know. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to be calling it by the original definition of what it was, or what it was morphed into under Adolf and his people. So yeah, but instead these countries like the Baltics, Poland, the United States, Great Britain, instead of investing in weapons, maybe they should invest in a real history book, or invest in time to look up real history, and then get a mirror and look in the mirror and see who they really are. No. And like I said in a previous video, I was telling about Tucker. I think I was the only one. I can brag about that. I said that Tucker is going to be joining Elon probably, or he said he should be, or whatever. And it turns out he is. So he is joining Elon. But anyway, at this moment, I guess I'm out of time, and I'll continue this video a little bit later. Well, now I'm in Baranovichi. And as I was saying when I had to go catch my train in Minsk, apparently Tucker has made a deal with Twitter. He's going to have a continuation of his show on Twitter. And I think he found out that Fox was somehow in breach of contract or something. I don't know. Maybe it was, I would just imagine that they were probably supposed to give him notice. And maybe they cut him loose without giving him any notice. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I don't know if the particulars were released or not. Здравствуйте. Yes. It's afternoon now, late afternoon. This is a shop I often get food at. When I was in Baranovichi, that is. And when I was talking about Tucker joining Elon Musk, I was just saying it's a possibility. I didn't have any information. Was just adding like 2 and 2, and it seems like a very likely pair. I didn't know that Twitter had shows. Luckily, I've been accurate 8 or 9 times out of 10 about anything I've been actually saying. Like I said, I don't get everything right. Just 99% of the time. No, I'm just kidding. You know, when you get kind of old, not like me, of course, because I'm very young, but when you get kind of old, you can make some good predictions, because you see how the world works to a large extent, how people behave, and then it's a little bit of Christianity too, I suppose. There's nothing new under the sun, as I say. You have to probably figure out what Jesus meant when he said that. And I don't know that I mentioned it before. Is this thing coming off? I don't know where to put this funny thing. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the last video I made, it took like 17 and a half hours to download, which is onto YouTube. That's just YouTube alone. You know, doesn't count editing or anything like that, just to download onto YouTube. So I was doing it afternoon and evening. I went to bed, woke up, and it still wasn't finished. You know, you have to do whatever it says, processing and then uploading. I guess they're taking extra care with mine because they love me so much, I think, on YouTube. You know how they are. I don't know, it looks like it's a traffic light. I didn't quite make it. Almost got ran over. You know that is. I don't know. I think they're probably trying to aim at some of the less popular channels, maybe, or whatever. But I think they suppress views and likes on YouTube as well. Like I say, I had on one video, one of the last videos, I had 235 likes, and then it was froze for 8 days, and then when it was unfroze, it was at 99 views. At least when I saw it. I think it's maybe 150 now. I don't know. I'm not really paying attention. I don't know what they're doing. You know, and like I said, people wrote me and told me they pressed the like and it doesn't register. So what does that tell you? You don't ever know if people are watching your videos or not. So, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't say a thing. Half an hour video takes 17 and a half hours to download. I think that was the rules-based order video that I made. Yeah, and I wrote it down here. So it's a sort of their own cancel culture. So you have some of these platforms doing cancel culture of their own. And I should mention that too, Tucker Carlson. He said, keep your books too. I guess he's watching my channel. There's a lot of things I said, and he says them too. He said, keep your old books. I don't know if I can't remember, but he was saying similar things that I say. So he might have said also that they're doing, when you read some publication or from some sort of literature online, it looks like it might have been changed. They alter a few words here and there to make it mean something completely different. I know they changed history because I learned history quite a bit differently, and now they say something completely different. Like about Thomas Jefferson, they're trying to demonize some of the best people. I get this, like you people that watch this and watch the Duran or I Earl Grey, or a lot of these, are Mike Rivero at whatreallyhappened.com. I guess you guys are also truth activists. And it's, I guess, just trying to suppress the truth. To own the narrative. Well, not to own, to create a new one, I guess, and own that. Get rid of any other truth, like I was saying about World War II earlier in this video. Make a new history. Take the truth and replace it with something completely different, but like a globalist agenda. It's like a new religion. I remember they had, like I said, the Rockefellers coming up with a society of the protection of religion. Everybody was looking at me. Protection of religion, and all that was about is promoting climate change. That's what the whole thing is about. And of course, what are the religions now? The LGBT, climate change. They're distorting history, distortions of science. Look at how a virus is supposed to react, and how it's supposed to be treated. And now they're coming up with new ways, which, by the way, are very, very good, as you know. As a matter of fact, I talked to two people today, English speaking, of course. And this medical student, who's a medical student in Minsk, he's all against that too. He might be worse than I am, more fanatic against these shots. And of course, a lot of these media platforms, they can't have that, so they got to try to suppress people, such as myself, that do not support their agendas. I don't know. Time is numbered, I guess, for me. And it seems like all these things, like media platforms, big pharma, it's like a big cabal. And I think they know that this is fake, I think. At least a lot of these people. Some people are easily fooled and they just go along with it and do whatever the big boys tell them. They believe whatever the big boys say is true. But then the other ones, like old Gorgeous George, and my good friend Klaus, we will put the computer chips in the brain. They know what's going on. And they're probably in private sitting back laughing. We tricked them. We tricked them. We penetrated. We penetrated their conscience and their brains with our little chips. Penetrated them with our chips. Yeah. I think they're just having a lot of fun. They sit back and they laugh, you know, seeing how they can collectively fool the collective humanity. You know, not just to appear stupid, but maybe to be stupid. Red light, people, red light. Don't walk. You know, Andrew Tate, Alex Jones, how many other people got practically canceled? At least they thought they were canceled. I don't know. Andrew Tate now? Look at even Donald Trump. Put him in jail. Trying to put Putin in jail. Anybody that tells the truth, anybody that is out for humanity, for the betterment of humanity, they're going to get them canceled. We're going to have a, what kind of a humanity are we going to have then? What kind of people? So any of these leaders that talk truth, they're even bigger targets to humanity. Oh, look at what we have here, a military truck of some sorts. Yes, so anytime anybody is getting canceled or even censored, I should show you this. Look at what they put on the old Russian and Belarusian houses. Look at the detail above the window there. Yes, so anybody tells the truth is going to get canceled. I should let these loud talking people go by here. A lot of tractors going around. I wonder what they're doing. See? That's what you hear in a lot of this loud machine noise. Yes, well, right now I'm on my way to an old, well, not an old friend, a friend. Speaks English, of course. Otherwise, I can't talk too much. Boy, I hope to alter this. I got to get better at Russian. I guess some of the first rules is I got to get organized. That takes a long time, it looks like. Everything does not depend on me. I'm finding out. I used to think I could, you order your own world. You get things to fit to you, but when you don't speak the language in a different country, you don't have hardly any control at all. You got to go with whatever everybody else wants to do, because you can't explain yourself. You know how to do things efficiently for you. So, or you have arguments. You know how that is. Have arguments. In any case, you're just slowed way, way down in getting anything done. Welcome to the world. Welcome to life. So, yeah, makes you want to be Klaus or Bill Gates or Klaus Schwab or Georgie Soros or anybody like that who can make the world shape to their desires. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that. But anyway, that's about all I have for right now. I don't know if I'll be doing any more, because I'll be here in Baranovici for a couple of days. I might even add a couple things to say here, but if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. Just go ahead and hit that button. Hit that subscribe. Just do it. If you're already subscribed, don't hit it a second time because it's unsubscribed you. So, but hit the like button then. So, okay, well that's all for now, and thanks for joining me, hearing my little rants here, walking around on the street, trying to get things done, fit in time to make a video here, fit a little thing in there. I should interview people one time soon. I met a football player. He plays for Brest from Africa. on the train. We just had a very good conversation. I gave him my coordinates. Hopefully he gets in touch with me. Very nice. But okay, bye for now, and thanks again. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.